Hello and welcome to DCP SideQuest episode number 68.
68. What's going to happen on 69?
Don't know. Tune in next week. That's the show. Bye, everyone.
I've been looking forward to this episode all weekend because we played Ghosts of Tsushima on Friday together, the multiplayer mode, and all I want to do is talk about it.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I want to grind. I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, I could be grinding for a better sword.
Right.
Oh, I could be getting some caltrops with special abilities.
So they dropped an update on Friday.
Yeah, 1.1, right?
We were thinking that it was just going to be like a multiplayer tacked on type of thing and like New Game Plus. Be like, sure, there's more to do, you know. It's like go have some fun. Instead, it's like a full-on like multiplayer looter in the Tsushima world with like classes and everything. It's just it blew my mind.
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. There's a story mode that you can play with 2 players at a time. Yep. And then there's like this kind of wave-based, like, I don't know, what do you call that exactly?
Like a survival mode, yeah.
A survival mode, thank you. Yeah. And there's 4 different levels in the survival mode. Each one plays very differently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's super fun. There's 3 different difficulties for each of the modes. It's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's like really fun.
The combat is such that it's just fun to fight things in that game.
Yeah.
And when you add the difficulty of like these hordes coming at you, which get like more difficult as the rounds go on, plus you're communicating with your friends and you're trying to strategize, like protecting 3 different points on the map. Like it just made for like kind of like a very kinetic and very raucous, I would say, experience. You know, it's just running around, yelling at your teammates, like, where are you? Where should we go? Like, I'm down. Somebody pick me up, you know?
The Crow Man's here. The Crow
It's the Crow.
Oh, God, the Crow Man.
And there's new enemies, which is like the Crow guy. He is a new enemy type. He's like a demon type guy. He's got a spear, and he just spits crows at you and murders you. A lot of crows. Murder crows.
A murder of crows.
Yeah, murder of murder crows.
And there's a couple of those like new enemy types. There's one that's got like a big thing that he smacks you with, and he smacks the ground and creates this big AoE field.
Yeah.
Which they didn't have to do that, but they did.
Well, that was one of the things. After I finished the main campaign, I was like, man, it'd be really cool if there was a DLC or expansion that was like Zombies did for Red Dead Redemption from the OG one. Because I was like, the world is just so perfect to introduce some supernatural stuff, like legit supernatural stuff. And then they did it with this update, and they put in the multiplayer, and I was like, this is perfect. This is fantastic.
Yeah. Because I think we all played through the mystic arts of Ghosts of Tsushima, where we got to experience legends from Japanese folklore, and we're like, this is so cool. I love this. Yeah. And I always stepped away from the game thinking I would love more of that, because those were some of my favorite missions. They were really cool.
Yeah.
And then this update is all about being spooky and curses. And even in the story mode, there's like this, we call her the Warlock.
Yeah, there's the warlocks in there.
There's the warlocks in there, and she's just sitting there being all weird and creepy. She looks really cool. She's a cool looking new enemy type that keeps her minions alive.
Yeah, she casts like a giant shield, and any of the enemies that are in the shield that are, I guess, attuned to her color or whatever, get healing really fast. In fact, I did like a critical strike, and then as I was taking the knife out, the health bar was like, I was like, okay, that's not gonna work.
That's a bummer.
You got to take out the warlock first.
And the loot system. There's a whole entire loot system. Again, they didn't have to do an entire loot system. There's white, green, blue, purple, and then gold stuff that you can get. And that's both, your weapon, your bow or blow dart.
Random stats on them.
Yeah, random stats and stuff. And you can re-roll stats.
Mm-hmm.
And you can unlock cosmetics.
Crazy.
Not microtransactions.
Yeah. The sword I thought was really cool because at least at the beginning, there's 4 stances in like the main game that you unlock as you go. But in the multiplayer, your stance is based on the weapon that you have. So you'll get a sword that says, okay, you can use the ghost stance or the water stance. And that limits your effectiveness against certain enemies. But Watts, you actually got a sword that had 2 different stances, so you could select the stances. So I wonder, like, once you get better gear, can you get one that has all 4 stances?
Yeah, like
so
a legendary one.
I bet there's one. There's got to be one out there that has all of them. Because that was really cool. Because I have 2 swords. One that gives me just water stance, so then you just have water stance, and then I had another one that allowed me to switch from the normal one where you deal with swordsman and then the water stance as well. So yeah, there's a lot in there that you can do for builds. I played a game where I just match made into a lobby, and there were 2 Ronin players, which is essentially the healer of the group, and they were just insane. One dude was just lobbing bombs at people, and I'm like, what is that? He's just sitting there lobbing bombs. I'm like, what is going on?
Cool.
Another one, his ultimate, I think, instead of rezzing people, it set everyone on fire, which was amazing. So
interesting.
Well, that's one of those things. So there's 4 classes that you get to choose from, and each one of those classes have a skill tree associated with it that you can then start picking and choosing how your abilities work. And I did not expect that level of customization and skill tree changing all that to happen in a multiplayer mode. I was like, this is crazy. There's 4 of these classes, and each one have their own skill tree that you have to unlock. I was like, what? This is like a whole new game.
They're separate and distinct from the stuff that you did in the single player. Like these are brand new abilities that you didn't get to play with before.
Yeah. I think most of them are. There's a few of them that are like similar from the single player. But and that's another thing too that's really cool is that like they took the elements of the single player. Like you have this full sandbox of lethal, just you're the most incredible samurai ever type of thing, and they pieced out those parts to figure out what makes sense for a multiplayer, and I love it because now you get to pick like, oh, do I want the pocket sand, or do I want kunai, or want sticky bombs, or do I want like
you want the pocket sand?
The pocket sand is crucial. Yeah.
And there's like ultimate abilities, right? Where so the archer class is really interesting. The hunter, which I'm kind of wanting to try out because it's a mix of our good not childhood friend, but our good friend from the story, and Tomoe, who was like this legendary archer who we were hunting through one of the storylines. And it's a mixture of both of them. And her ultimate is where she just hits 3 headshots. Just boom.
Headshots.
And she has skills that can turn body shots into headshots and all sorts of really cool stuff. So
that's interesting.
I might actually try out her second.
Yeah,
because it seems very different.
It makes me
I want to unlock them all because I'm having fun.
Yeah, I want to like level up all the stuff and see.
I do. Yeah, I really do. I want to grind the game.
Right?
Yeah. This is my obsession now. Like this game is now my current. Like I out of nowhere. Like I was kind of looking forward to it, but I didn't think it'd be this in depth.
Same.
But we're in like a waiting pattern right now, right? It's like the new consoles are a month away. Destiny 2 is a month or Beyond Light is a little bit away. You know, like there's just like this kind of like gap where there's a bunch of big stuff coming. Cyberpunk is right around the corner. This thing hit at just the right time.
Yeah,
like
it really
did.
Yeah,
perfect timing.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing is the story missions aren't just taking the same story missions from the single player and like.
And I totally thought they would be.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, oh, you're gonna probably run through the story again as co-op, and no, they completely redid the whole thing where it's like a linear. A section by section mystical, you know, like you're in some fever dream from the darkness type of thing and going through, and it's so well done. Like it's incredibly different from the main single player from the co-op, right?
Yeah, because it's very like there's beating hearts everywhere, right? You're walking through and there's blood and there's beating hearts and there's weird stuff in the sky. So it's not, whereas the main story is very grounded in reality as much as they could to make an actual game out of it. This is very, very, very different. It's just very down the creepy, mystical path.
We were saying
I like the story mode too because it's different than the horde mode in that it follows a structured path where you can actually like approach these scenarios. you can use stealth, you can use your archery, you can have one guy up on a cliff shooting down, and one guy run into the mix and like, you know, stirring it up. Like you can plot out each encounter like you did in the story, like in the regular campaign.
Yeah.
But with 2 players, which I think is a lot of fun. And it's separate than the horde mode where you're really reacting to just like massive quantities of people coming at you.
On top of that, there's modifiers. In the harder difficulties, there's like these modifiers that change. We Watts and I were playing, we got to do the prophecy stuff and we failed it both times.
We failed. We enabled hard mode and failed almost instantly when we walked into the level.
Yeah, the first one was like a tether where if we got too far from each other, then we got cursed, and I guess it drains your life or something like that. I didn't pay attention to what the exact effect was. And that made it super difficult to sneak around and try to like, you know, I'm taking this, taking that, or like, you know, some giant fire thing is trying to kill us from a distance.
Oh yeah, there was a giant, very spooky, supernatural fire thing that was firing arrows at us constantly. So we're tethered and we're like, oh God, trying to get out of the way. That was very funny.
Yeah.
It was great.
I don't like archers. Do not like archers.
Sons of bitches. What was the other prophecy that we got? Hard mode prophecy thingy. I don't remember.
Was it that I think it was just our health was cut really low.
Was that what it was?
Our overall health bar. I think so. Yeah.
Over
we had
50%.
much less health.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah. So that's a really cool element of like, I don't think it's the same every time. I think it kind of randomizes it a bit when you play it. Like
that's what
those missions.
Like.
Yeah.
And there's a raid coming.
Oh yeah, there's raids coming. Okay, so another thing too. They start out with this bronze, silver, gold type of system, and each one of those has like a max gear cap that it's willing to drop. So I think bronze goes up to 30 or 35 max gear drop, and actually it's different also from story to survival. I think I could be wrong on that. It seemed like gold was different in story. So there's this climb that goes all the way up to 105, I believe, with gold, and then the raid is gonna bump it up to like 110.
Wow.
So
very interesting.
There's like
I hope that
climb.
they continue to support this mode. Like I'd love to see them add stuff to this as like time goes on. Like
I would love that.
And I'd be happy to pay for it, to be honest with you. Like if they want to add like 4 more levels, 4 more horde modes and another raid, I'd be happy to pay for that.
Absolutely. I keep telling people all the time, those games that you see on Steam that are kind of like this. I think Earthfall is a pretty good example of a game where it's like you can get in with your buds and have some fun. You pay like $30-$40 for it. I would totally believe you if you said that this was one of those games. Just a standalone, ignore the single player, just the co-op. It's $30, $40. Have some co-op fun with your friends. Yeah. I believe you.
If it was
but with a fully fleshed out loot system.
Yeah.
That too. I think that's one of the weirdest things that they nailed it on launch for a free update that gives a loot system in there. It's like, oh, this really works.
Yeah.
It fits, which is so weird because it's Ghosts of Tsushima is a single player story game.
Yeah.
And then to have this multiplayer put in and it's just so well done. Everything makes sense. The classes make sense. The abilities make sense. The loot makes sense. It's really impressive.
Also the narration, the guy telling this.
Oh yeah.
Like he's saying how most people thought it was one ghost, but actually it was multiple ghosts. So there gives the reason for multiplayer. And then like when you're playing things like survival, it's like talking about it as if the story already happened. When you get when you unlock or do a super and kill 3 guys super fast, it's like the ghost strikes so swift. It's like
it's so good. Because I was getting a lot of assassination kills, and it's like the perfect kill. It's so cool.
It's so well thought out. It's crazy.
It is.
Throughout the whole story, we said it felt cinematic and epic and awesome. And they managed to keep that feeling in the multiplayer as well.
Yeah.
Partly due to that narration and everything looking and feeling really cool, and combat just feeling great. Mm-hmm. But then the narration definitely helps with that, where you've come flying from from one of the little grabby things that's in the sky.
Little hook,
jump on top
thingies.
of them, assassinate them, and he's like, the ghost gets the perfect kill.
Yeah. It's incredible.
Yes, it was cool. And I get to be naked with a weird mask on.
Yeah, that was really cool. So the things you unlocked in single player carry over for cosmetics, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so I looked at the hunter a little bit just to see what the cosmetics were, and if you did Tomoe's story all the way through, you got her mask, which is like the half like broken mask,
Mhm.
and that is also in co-op. You can choose to use that. I think if you play the Ronin, you might have access to the basket head. I definitely saw someone wearing the basket head in
Yeah, I think I had the
multiplayer.
basket head.
Yeah. So there are different oh, and also if you choose, one way or the other at the end. I won't give spoilers in case no one's played it. Someone hasn't
A
played
certain
it.
family
But
matter.
a certain family situation. But you get the outfit because you get based on your decision, you get a different color. So you get that outfit as well in multiplayer,
Really cool.
depending on what you do.
Yeah.
it's really
So
cool.
and again, another thing from single player to the multiplayer, like single player, you can wear whatever you want, right? You could be Ronin,
Mhm.
Samurai. You have the full spectrum that you could choose from. And this, it breaks it out into classes in the multiplayer, and it just makes sense. It's like, yeah, of
Yeah.
course, that's how it would be set up. This is
Of
incredible.
course, the Ronin has a basket on his head and the assassin doesn't. Obviously.
Yeah, obvious.
It just makes sense.
I think anybody should be allowed to have basket head. Free the basket head for all classes.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very impressive. And I think they've done a really good job of making people want to go back into the story
Mhm.
to unlock some of that stuff. Because maybe you queue up randomly, you're like, wait, what is that? How do you get that? You look it up, realize that you have to go finish some stuff in the story mode. Now that gets people playing the story again. And then they also have a thing where so you can choose which map you matchmake onto, or you can just choose to quick play and just jump into whichever one is available.
Yep.
And if you choose that one, you get extra rewards. So they
Yeah.
also give you a reason to just go and fill in any team that needs it.
Oh,
Which
also,
is, it's still fun to play quick play. Like I was worried that this game wouldn't be as much fun without playing with you guys. But I played a couple of quick play matches. I was still having a blast. Like it's still cool.
Yeah.
So
Me too.
on the multiplayer side, or the matchmaking side, so Watts, you got disconnected a couple times.
Yeah.
But then you were able to. I sent you an invite, and you were able to rejoin.
Yeah,
was
the way
like-
that they handle disconnects is really good. So on my side, my power went out very shortly. So nothing really went down, but it just kind of kicked me out of the game. I still stayed in the game. Nothing different happened. There was an enemy running at me when I disconnected. They were still running at me, and I was playing the exact same map and place in that map and in that wave that we were playing together. And then Tefty sent me an invite, and I was able to just join right back in. No downtime, no kicking me to a main menu, nothing. Which is games don't do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
for
a
a
big
tacked
deal.
on, I'm saying tacked on in like quotations.
Yeah.
Tacked on.
Because it's not
Yeah.
yeah, we know.
Yeah, it's definitely not actually tacked on, but like
Yeah.
being free and an update several months later, you're like, oh, sure, a multiplayer thing because everybody does multiplayer nowadays, blah, blah, blah. No, this is like really thought out from the combat experience to the potential of disconnects on there. Like I was really surprised about that. I do also want to highlight again that the combat is incredibly satisfying. Just
Yes.
as
Yeah, it's good
satisfying
combat. Yeah.
as it was in the single player. In multiplayer, you can parry and you get that sweet parry window and effect that happens, and like you feel like a badass samurai with buddies
Yeah.
rolling around in multiplayer. It's incredible.
And even the intro screen when you load into the map and it's telling the story of the ghosts and you see your friends standing there and you're like, now we're awesome together. This is great.
You are incredibly powerful together too. Like
Yeah.
It's surprisingly good how well it's balanced for multiple players, because it's very difficult like when you're at level or a little bit below level, but by working together you really can make it much easier.
Yeah.
And it's impressive in that way. It's very well balanced.
Yeah.
They even have stuff that you accumulate points throughout the waves, and then you can spend that on getting something to give health to your teammates. You can set enemies on fire around you. You can get a spirit bear.
Yo,
Oh,
Battle
bear.
Wolf.
Battle
You can
Bear was
pet
amazing.
All of them.
Yeah, you can pet the bear and the dogs.
You can pet all of them. Battle Bear is so good. You see him run, just swinging someone around by his foot, and I'm like, yep,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's right, bear.
There was a wave where other bears were summoned, enemy bears, and those sucked.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, yeah, because they
Yeah.
they hook your foot and then you're locked and they're mauling you.
Oh yeah, I did. I
Yeah.
was there for that. Okay.
Yeah. But then if you get Battle Bear does that to them too. So you can like hook onto like an elite guy with a bunch of health and like just stagger him.
Yeah, it was really good.
It's an impressive update to an already really good game. I'm looking forward to the PS5 launch and playing it at 60 FPS because, like, I mean, this is just going to keep getting better.
I get to see all those crows move faster.
Right? Yeah, the freaking murder crows. Do we know if it's getting 60 FPS right away or is there going to be an update later?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I can look it up real quick.
It's probably going to come sometime down the road, but it would be amazing. I mean, I know there's like already just a laundry list of games that are going to be dropping day one that you're probably going to want to play first, but 60 FPS in Ghosts of Tsushima would be pretty nice.
I so hope they keep updating it. And like, if you want to sell me a pass where, you know, I get maybe 2 maps every whatever,
levels and all that,
I'm totally down to do that.
Yeah.
Because yeah, this is really fun. The game is phenomenal. They did such a good job with the combat, and just the bones of this game are so good that I would love to see them keep updating it because it's really special.
Sucker Punch tweeted that Ghost of Tsushima will be playable on PS5 on day one via backward compatibility. You'll be able to transfer your save from PS4 to pick up from your PS4 to pick up where you left off. But they don't mention. Oh, PS5 owners playing with Game Boost will see an extra option to allow frame rate up to 60 FPS.
With Game Boost.
There we go.
Interesting. Yeah.
Nice.
The game that keeps on giving.
Awesome. Yeah.
Just keep giving. Yeah, it's really impressive.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it is. It's like, hey, this is a great value for a game.
Yeah. We don't know when the raid launches, right? I don't think we do.
I feel like it's coming soon.
I think it's got to be soon, right? I don't know if they gave us an exact date.
But what I wanted to point out is there's weekly drops for completing. Like, there's a Nightmare Story mode that you complete, and you have the potential to get a 110 or above, or an epic 110 or above. And I'm sorry, a 110 epic or above, meaning it could be legendary.
Yeah.
Sorry for the wording on that. But so there's like weekly drops, you know, like an actual kind of.
There's weekly drops. There's daily challenges. Yeah. It's just so crazy because they totally could have just put out a multiplayer and it's like, yeah, it feels good and you know, this is super fun. But the things that they've added have really made it a standalone game.
I was expecting that they were going to give you like 4 classes and you got your loadout from there and you go play horde mode. That's what I was expecting.
Yeah.
They said the raid will arrive in the weeks following launch.
The weeks following.
Okay.
I can't believe I'm Googling stuff. That's not cool. What's with facts?
Well, hopefully it's like at the end. Well, we're getting close. We're getting close.
They're dropping the raid on November 21st.
Which raid do you want to do? We should go do Worlds for Ghosts of Tsushima raid because we might actually get one.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
It'll be interesting to see what they do for the raid.
Yeah, the in the story mode, they have quite a few mechanics in there that I was also not anticipating that they were going to put. Like there was this one mechanic where there was blue enemies, green enemies, and orange enemies, and you had to go and kill you had to kill the orange dude or whatever person.
Like the statue.
Yeah, maybe it was a statue.
There was like little statues that you could break.
Yeah, you break the statue and you get attuned for that color, and then you can go and actually do regular damage to those enemies. Otherwise, it's like a trickle damage where it's like these guys are impossible.
I had one bow guy just in a corner, and I was just slapping him. I think it took me about 30 or something hits to kill him.
Jeez.
I was like, it's possible, but he's stuck in a corner. So I think we're doing something wrong.
So there's like actual potential raid mechanics that are going to be in this that like initially I was just thinking, oh, you kill this and that, you're done or something. But now there really could be something where you need to hold some points. You need to each like hit the lever at the same time to unlock whatever piece and then do damage to the enemies or something. There could be something to that degree with this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get raid ready.
Yeah.
The new raid race that we didn't expect.
The Ghosts of Tsushima raid race. I got an interesting story for you guys. This one's kind of weird, but I kind of wanted to know what you thought about it.
Is it about your Crocs?
No, not today. I got more information about the Crocs if you'd like to know.
I do. I want weekly Croc.
Yeah, we need a Briar's Croc update.
So Sega is celebrating their 60th anniversary, and they released a couple of free games on Steam. I don't know if you guys saw these. One is like a I think it's called Streets of Yakuza, basically. It's like characters from Yakuza in Streets of Rage, like a 16-bit game. The other one is called Golden Axed, and this was only available for 24 hours, I believe. So I'm not sure if it's still up or not. But it's a Golden Axe game that was under development, I believe, in 2012. It got canceled, but for some reason they decided to pop it up on Steam anyway. So it's just like one level of this like kind of 3D like action Golden Axe game.
I loved Golden Axe.
Same.
The weird thing about this is one of the people who worked on it, Tim Dawson, got on Twitter and he was furious that they released this because, of course, he's not benefiting from this at all. He no longer is with the company. He worked on this game, and he just woke up. He says he woke up to the surprising news that Sega is releasing the Golden Axe prototype I coded in 2012 under crunch conditions. At least I'm not alone. This appears to be a surprise to everyone I know who actually worked on it. And he goes on to talk about what an awful experience working on this thing was, how obviously he's not getting any financial stuff, and how like there was basically this like, he was working under crunch conditions 14 to 16 hours a day while his management was like setting unrealistic expectations. And he feels like it's a slap in the face that they released this thing, and they're kind of making fun of it on the Twitch page. Like they're kind of saying like, they renamed it Golden Axed, instead of Golden Axe. And like, so it's kind of this weird, like, it's kind of a fun thing that they released this, it's actually kind of fun, to be honest with you. It's only one level, you get 10 minutes of the gameplay out of this, and then you're probably going to want to uninstall it, but it's actually kind of fun. But like, I feel super bad for this guy, who put like heart and soul into this, and now basically 8 years later is getting made fun of publicly on the internet.
That's lame. It's too bad.
Yeah, it does. Those situations are tough, right? Because if it had happened recently and he had worked on the game and then the company went under and then they just released it and they're like, screw everyone who worked on this game before. That's maybe a bit different, but it's tough when he left the company so long ago.
Yeah.
And then it's like, so if they did continue working on the game and then released it normally and just as a full game, he wouldn't have gotten any compensation from that either.
Yeah.
You've left the company.
Yeah. So also, I'm assuming Sega just, they have things where they own everything that you do if you're working for them. So
well,
it's not like he had like a 50% share in whatever he was coding,
Right. Yeah, he's really mad. One of the last tweets he has about it says, from the Steam page, here's what it says on the Steam page. Golden Axed, maybe janky, maybe buggy, maybe an artifact of its time, but it offers a unique glimpse into the prospect of a project that could have been. And then he says, go fuck yourself, parasites.
Wow.
So he's obviously very mad about this. And he tweeted that October 15th. It's the 19th as we record this.
Huh.
I mean, I totally get it. The conditions sucked, and you put your heart and soul into this game, and then nothing happened from it. You weren't able to complete the game, and then they just released a level.
Yeah,
it's a weird
thing, right?
Yeah,
it is very weird. Yeah, I don't really know how to feel about it.
Same, Watts. Like, I feel exactly the same. Like I downloaded it and I played it and I enjoyed my time with it. Like, I understood it was a unfinished product, but like the kind of the concepts were there, and like the way the combos worked was kind of cool. And like I could see, like, if this had been a fleshed out, fully developed game, I could see myself enjoying it. Especially, I have an attachment to the Golden Axe.
Same.
Games from back in the day. But then I read this stuff from Tim Dawson. And I was like, oh man, like now I feel bad for playing it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I enjoyed your prototype and I feel so dirty.
I had a lot of fun. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel. I both feel bad for him, and also, I don't know. Yeah, that's a weird. It is weird. It's weird.
Yeah, but from a software perspective, I mean, they own the software.
They own, yeah.
They can do what they want with it, right?
They can, yeah. It's like if you work for any game company, right? If you work on a game and then you leave, you're not going to see the benefits of the released product when it comes out.
Yeah.
There's another way to look at this too, where it's like, I could kind of see what this guy did, and I'm actually pretty impressed with it. He took a very old style of gameplay and modernized it into a way that at least like started to look like it would be fun in a fully fleshed out game. And I don't feel like he's a fool for having made this. Like, I don't have any bad feelings for anybody who worked on this. Obviously, it is what it is. It's not a fully fleshed out finished product, but it's kind of fun. So I don't know. Don't feel so bad, Tim.
Yeah,
I
Tim.
feel like fuck up, camper.
If anything, it would put his name out there for more opportunities. If he is looking for more opportunities, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what his status is in game development. I don't even know if he still does game development. It's possible he might have moved on from the career.
I don't know either.
Maybe.
Did you guys see the PlayStation 5 UI unveil?
I did.
I actually did not.
Okay, so it's a UI for a video game console. Not a whole lot like crazy going on.
Not a whole lot has changed.
They did have this kind of cool concept called the activity cards. So, like currently, like if you're looking at a game in your PlayStation 4 dashboard and you like kind of scroll down and there's like other information about the game. There's going to be cards down there that have information like, like achievements that you could, trophies that you could unlock, tips and tricks for like stuff that you're doing. And those cards can be played like videos, or they can like be a link that brings it. Like, say you have a trophy that says, find all of the foxes in Ghosts of Tsushima. It can actually load you directly to the foxes in Ghosts of Tsushima, right? To help you find that.
Oh, I see.
Like instantly,
right?
So like you've got 5 out of 10 foxes. Well, we'll load you right to the 6th one, right? And like to help you out along the way. Also, you can access them while you're playing, and it'll play a video, like a tip video, in the corner of the screen while you're playing, or you can have a friend's gameplay up in that little area while you're playing. So like, for instance, while we're all playing Ghost of Tsushima, I could have Watts' gameplay up. Maybe me and her are trying to coordinate something, in multiplayer, and I can actually see her video on my TV, which is kind of a dope feature.
That is
kind of cool.
Yeah, limited usefulness. Or maybe you have like, I don't know, one of your friends who is playing a different game, and you're just kind of watching them play while you're playing. You're grinding out something in an RPG or something.
I mean, in Destiny alone, I could see that being super useful. Somebody explaining some mechanics of a raid or some sort of jumping puzzle, and being like, no, not that, that platform that you're looking at right now. Like you could see that being really useful to help people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be used in really cool ways.
I don't know how I feel about developers baking in like how-to guides directly into the game when you're missing.
I'm sure you can disable it if you don't want to use it.
I know, but like, it's just it's now like you hit a button or something and the card pops up directly to show you how you're missing that fox in Tsushima.
Yeah. 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 I don't know. I can see it as useful. Like, one of the most frustrating things to me is like, you're in a game. This happens to be a lot in like adventure games where like I just like somehow got lost and I don't know exactly where I'm supposed to go, or like obviously there's like some UI element that I'm just missing, and I just got to like walk up to it and hit the X button to like make the next thing happen, but I'm like missing it for some reason. Like, that's the kind of tip that really helps me out, because that can be really frustrating. It's not meant to be hard. It's just that for whatever reason, the thing is not apparent to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had that happen many times. I don't know. I can see this, like, once it's available and people have access to any information, like if people already go and Google stuff immediately already. So it's not like this is going to prevent people or whatever. It's already happening. But it's a little weird, you know. Back in my day, I had to get a magazine with the cheat codes, you know.
I had to get my Nintendo Power magazine so I could find out where the power-ups were in Mario 3.
Yeah.
I do wonder if this will take any processing power. Do you remember the snap feature for the Xbox One that they eventually got rid of?
Yep.
And they got rid of it because it
Yeah.
was actually like it was taxing the Xbox console.
Yeah.
I could tell. I could tell it was. Anytime I try and use it, I was like, never mind. I will go to the dashboard. Forget it.
Yeah. So
I
I'm looking
wonder-
at this interface right now, and yeah, it looks like an evolved PS4 interface.
Right, totally.
Did you guys see I just thought there was a tweet where it was showing the new Xbox 4 going from being off to then playing a game.
Yeah.
But the game was already like it's like if you're playing PS4 and you just turn the console off and you go back into the game.
Yeah.
It was like set up like that, and I was like, should I make a video of watch how fast it is for me to turn on my PS4 and get back into Ghosts of Tsushima? Because it's about the same speed. So
Yeah.
I found that really funny because I'm like, of course, if you fully shut it down and you get out of the game and load it up, it's going to be much faster than current consoles. But showing you like going back into a game that
Instant
you were
resume or
already
something?
in, we already do that, and it's already very fast.
Yeah.
I don't think it was in standby mode, right? It was like full shutdown, booting
I think
up the
in
game
the
for first
comments
time,
he
right?
said that it was the game was already loaded up. So when he went
But-
into the game, like when he turned it back on, it was already loaded.
Okay. But the console was turned off.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I was
either.
wondering the same thing because I was looking in the comments and he was like, "Oh yeah, that it would be better to do it with like closing down the game fully, closing down the console fully, and then doing it."
Yeah, because you're right. Like on the PlayStation, I can put the console kind of like in like standby mode,
Yeah.
come back to it, it just like automatically starts right back up.
I'm already there. I'm playing the game.
Yep.
Look at me go.
Yeah.
But it's like a probably 3 to 5 minute wait to get back in if I turn off the console.
Yeah.
And Ghost of Tsushima loads particularly fast compared to most games.
It's so fast.
It's kind of weird.
Yo, real
What are
quick.
they doing? What magic are they using? What
Yeah.
dark arts?
Exactly. Right. Real quick. So on this video with the UI stuff, they're showing Sackboy, you know, on whatever
Yeah.
whatever game this is for Sackboy's Adventures. And it looks
Love the name, by the way. A
it,
plus.
it looks really good. Like I'm looking at this, I'm
Sackboy
like, you
does.
know, I would actually probably play this. I don't know if I'd stream it, but I'd play it offline. Like it just it looks so good. I
Looks
cannot
like
wait.
a fun 3D platformer, right?
Yeah. But like with
Yeah.
the next gen evolution, I mean, you've seen like all the ray tracing, the shadows and lighting and like the texture mapping is just like, oh man. Well, I'm ready
Looks
for
nice.
the next gen.
Yeah, me too,
I'm
man.
excited. I'm excited to play on console. I'm like
Yeah.
really looking forward to it.
It's also a
That
fluid
and,
60.
The
on video.
Astrobot Adventures, I can't remember the specific name of that, but that one comes preloaded on every PS5 console.
Mm.
And that's like the Astrobot VR rescue missions was stupendous. An absolute fantastic game that did not get, because it was in VR, it just didn't get kind of like the broad scale play that it really deserves. So I'm actually really looking forward to that game too. And that comes on every PlayStation 5 at launch.
Cool.
It's
Exciting
going to be
times.
a fun month, man. November, I'm really looking forward to November.
Same.
There's as much as I'm scared and terrified of no sleeping, no eating, no resting, back
Right,
pain,
yeah.
shoulder pain, I'm also very excited about all the games because these are like games that are right up my alley, games that I've loved for a long time, games that I've been excited about,
Yeah.
all coming out at the same time.
Yeah, Godfall's coming out at launch for the PlayStation 5. That's the same date the Beyond Light comes out, right?
No, Beyond
Beyond
Light's
Light
the
is
10th.
on the 10th,
10th. Oh, and
2 days before.
2 days before.
Yeah.
Well, good. I can finish
Yeah.
Beyond Light in 2 days.
Yeah. You'll beat the campaign of Beyond Light in like, you know, that day
Yeah.
or the next day.
Mhm.
And then you'll go to Best Buy, assuming you went to Best Buy, pick up your PS5 and play Sackboy. Because that's definitely one we'll be playing first.
Bug Snacks.
Bug Snacks
Bug
next.
Snacks is out at launch.
Yeah. Then Sackboy, Bug Snacks, Godfall, Demon Souls.
I got an
Team
email
Solstice.
about bug snacks.
Yeah.
What did they say?
I'm like, hey, you tweeted about bug snacks. You interested in bug
They're like,
snacks?
hey,
I'm like,
kind of bug, kind of snack.
Fuck
kind
yeah.
of bug, kind of snack. I was like,
I need
yeah,
an auto reply email that just says "fuck yeah."
Yep. It's like we sang your song on our charity stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Well,
Well, yeah. Very well.
it's been described as moving
Yeah.
by me. Yeah, man, it's gonna be a fun one. Any other news or anything we want to talk about? Kind of just play Ghosts of Tsushima, getting ready for the next gen launches.
It's pretty much, right?
Yeah.
God, you know,
Watched Fran. He had an exotic in Ghost of Tsushima.
I don't
How
believe it.
dare he?
Sounds false to me.
What level was it?
I think it was 59.
Oh, so you can actually get him to drop in
really?
silver.
You can get them early.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know. I want to play right now. Podcast goes off. Tsushima goes on.
Tsushima. Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's we're in like a slow phase, right? I mean, like it's technically not slow with different stuff going on, but with the build up to the big launches of stuff, it feels like a waiting pattern right now, like a slow phase waiting pattern.
I feel like I don't know, like I can get any more hyped for what's happening. Like I'm just so excited for all the stuff that's happening in November. Right? There's so much good stuff. Like if you're a video game fan, I don't know if I've ever been more excited.
Yeah, it's
Like,
incredible right now, right?
Everywhere I look, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to play that. Oh, I can't wait to do that. And then
Yep.
I don't know if you guys saw this. This is more a retro thing that we'll be talking about on the Retro Slot podcast, but Analog announced a new console as well, the Turbo Duo,
I did
which has
see
a
that.
disc drive in it. That's going to be $199. That's coming out in 2021, but it was just another thing that I was like, oh my God, I want that too.
Oh man. Hey, with Genshin, Klee came out, right? The Klee card?
Klee, so it's not out just yet. The Venti one has been taken down, and the weapon one has been taken down. So it's just the one that has Gene on it that's available right now. It's gonna be coming out, I think, for us tonight at some point.
Okay. Are you prepared?
I'm definitely gonna spend some money. I'm not gonna be I'm pulling until I get Klee, because that ends up in you spending like $3,000. So let's not
Suddenly
do that.
your credit card company is like, did you intend to spend this amount of money? And yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Yes, I did. Can I get a refund though? Because I didn't get what I wanted. But yeah, she's coming out tonight for us, or technically it's tomorrow. People are very excited about her. Her mission is really cool. You get to play her story mission at AR 32.
Oh, cool.
So you get to know her and a little bit of her story. And I've been farming for some materials that she uses to upgrade her stuff.
How do you know what materials she uses?
From I think it was from the beta, people had her, and they just took notice of her talent upgrades and all of that.
Fascinating.
I'm very excited for her. She's joining my team permanently.
Like, it's gonna happen, whether you want it or not, Klee. It's happening.
You are joining Chi-Chi so they can run with their arms out together.
I've been keeping up with my dailies, getting my XP. I think I'm like almost AR 29.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I've definitely been taking my time with Genshin, which has been great. I've enjoyed
It's so good because you hit 30 and then the world opens up more. Then you hit 35 and things open up more. And then 40, you start getting the 5-star artifacts that drop in the world.
5-star artifacts.
So there's always
in the world. Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that a domain
there's always
switch?
Like, so you can get them from domains and they'll drop. So you can get them technically to drop before 40, but it's very unlikely.
Mm-hmm.
But after 40, it drops in domains. But also, if you kill world bosses, they have a chance to drop them. So you can kind of just run around and kill everything.
Yeah. So they're the ones that don't require resin, right? Just normal world bosses. Nice. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I have noticed that the resin thing is a bit of a bummer with the way it is right now, having I understand it more now, and I do hope they
Yeah.
like just increase the amount that you have, or like, I don't know, give a way to grind it or something.
Yeah, anything that they add to the system, whether it's cutting things in half, maybe it's 10 resin to pull from like a ley line thing
Yep.
instead of 20, or doing that, or giving us ways to earn fragile resin, whatever they choose to do. I
Yeah.
hope they do something.
I did my weekly stuff, and basically all my resins is gone after 2 weekly events. You know?
Yeah.
Like, or the storm
Yep.
terror, and then the wolf.
The wolf.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, that kind of sucks. You blow all your resin, and then you're like, you're done. You know?
Yeah, I think it's really going to come down to, do they want this game to be more than a gacha game?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is exactly how it is. You log in, do dailies, spend your resin, get off, go do something else, come back. But people want to play it as more than a gacha game.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll see if they want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've basically been logging in, doing the XP stuff, and then saving my missions for when I stream it. So then I can actually do those on stream, experience that, and then the polls and all that. Yeah.
You got to try and get Klee, Tefty. We're going to need
We'll see. Do I need Klee? I don't know.
Well, if you were 32 and you played as her, you would know. Although
Yeah.
she's going to have a trial. The thing that they are bringing,
I saw that, yeah.
the trial. Yeah.
Mhm.
So you'll be
That's
able
cool.
to do that whenever you want.
Yep. Awesome. Any other
Yeah.
stuff for this week? By the way, Eric's is out
playing Ghosts of Tsushima?
soon, right? Yes.
Every day.
Every
I'm
day.
available every day, all day. You tell me you're getting on, I'll be like, load it up, ready to go. I got to grind.
I was gonna say that Eric's was out this week because he was busy doing the Witcher workout, and he said he's got to get those sweet gains. So no
He's got to get those
today.
sweet gains for episode 69.
Yeah, Witcher workout
Mhm.
gains.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta look good naked.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think that's the episode. That's it, guys.
I want to wear my mask with no clothes on, get covered in mud, and stab some people.
What? So you know something? Speaking of a mask that you should be wearing, have you seen this like a digital avatar mask?
No.
I'm gonna post it in the chat, the Twitch chat, and I'll try and remember to post it in the YouTube as well for people who are looking for it. But I think I'm kind of surprised you don't have this yet. Like it's really surprising.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
So this is for anybody who is just listening and can't look at the chat. This is a digital mask. It's got a screen on it that goes in front of your face that lets you express anime emotions. So there's like an anime face on it, and it does like emotions through the anime face.
It allows you to be a VTuber in real life. Because it's not just like a face, it's like they've got hair, they've got a full like facial structure. It's an actual face.
Yeah, it's a
and
face.
It kind of looks like a hazmat hat.
It does,
which is
very
perfect.
hazmat-y.
You know, it keeps you safe as well. You know, nobody can see what you're thinking anymore with everybody wearing masks, right? They can't see if you're smiling or frowning or sticking your tongue out at somebody. So this is perfect.
This is great, actually. Yeah.
This is
so
the
now when I
perfect
smile at people,
headwear
people
for
be like,
2020.
"Wow, look at you're smiling at me. This is not weird or scary." It's actually really good though. It tracks the face very well.
Does it really well? Christmas,
It's perfect.
It
Christmas
is perfect.
gift.
I would like that.
I know what you're getting for Christmas. How much is it? Oh, never mind.
How much is it? Do we know?
I don't know.
I assume a lot of money.
Yeah.
With the screen and all that, some sort of it's probably like 500 or up.
It's probably a lot.
The E2 Mask Z.
E2
It uses
Mask
AI
Z.
to read expressions of happiness, sadness, anger, and more, and then render those emotions via an anime avatar on your face.
That sounds expensive.
I'm on the website. I don't think they even have a price.
You can't afford not to buy it.
Wow, that's really cool. Looks like it'll keep me safe.
Is that 144 hertz? I'm not looking at no 30 hertz.
Yeah.
People are gonna mod it to where they can play games on your face.
They're gonna play Doom on it.
Perfect.
They're gonna press a button, your face is gonna go away, it's just gonna be the game.
Yeah.
God damn it. Please stop taking away my anime face.
Should we wrap this one up?
Yep. That is
I think
episode
so.
68 of SideQuest. Thank you very much for tuning in, listening, hanging out.
Next week is 69.
Yeah.
It's a special episode.
Special
I got
episode
plans.
69.
I'm pre-planning, which never happens.
We're gonna do a lewd game roundup that you can't stream on Twitch, possibly.
Yeah. I think that might be
can't
really interesting.
I'm
To
gonna
learn
download all of these games.
all the
Briar has to do
banned
research.
episodes on Twitch, how they got banned, why they're banned.
Sounds
I will
great.
not show pictures, but I will describe it.
Perfect. That's even better.
Sounds amazing. Shout out to our Twitch subs. Thank you very much for subbing while we're live. And also shout out to our Patreon members for supporting the shows on the DCP. Are we a network brand? What is it?
We're a TV network. I
Collective.
think so.
Collective. Yeah. Hey. Branded collective network of TV shows that are on Twitch and YouTube and Podbean.
And podcast.
Podcast.
It's a podcast. I think we're a podcast.
Yeah.
I don't really know. What makes
you
a
go.
podcast? Is it just people talking? Is people talking a podcast?
I think if
Yeah.
you just have a conversation and say that was a podcast, it was a podcast.
That's a good question for Alexa. Maybe she can let us know.
What's a podcast?
Yeah. If a
Mm.
group of people are talking, is it considered a podcast? Alexa.
You know, the best question for Alexa is how much of the data, how much of these conversations are you sharing with Amazon?
Yeah. All of them.
That's the best question.
I gotta make sure you don't talk crap about Twitch if you have a robot lady in your house.
True. She's
You might
connected.
get a phone call. Hey, we heard you don't like the way we do stuff.
You about
Partnership expired, motherfucker.
To get, you about to get the Bezos bop right in the face. All right. That's the show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Sure is.
Have a fantastic week, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you
Bye.
guys. Bye.